All right. Going to give people a couple minutes here to get connected. We've got some folks showing up. That's excellent. So we're on the business process transformation track. I'm Leslie Wolf with IN3 Tradewind, and we have Tiffany here from Immuta. So I'm going to turn it over to her, and we'll take it away. Thanks.
Fantastic, thank you. So Immuta, we're data access and privacy control software capability. A little bit about us, a couple of things I'd like to hit on is the fact that unlike other startup companies, our CEO and our CTO came out of the IC community, and they were focused on a really hard problem set of securing the most sensitive data within the intelligence community and how to share it. Since their inception in 2015, we have had more than 80 customers on the commercial side. And one of the things is because we become these global industry standards for data access and data protection platforms to make them compliant and auditable throughout your entire interaction with the data. So we are a software company, but we do have reachback support. We're also keen on our integration, so we don't have die in the vine capabilities. So we have a team of individuals that will work with our customers to get us integrated into your data systems. Later on, you'll see where I say we don't make your data architectures wrap around us, your technology wrap around us. We're built to fit into whatever your technology is. Additionally, we do have our team on public sector that has active TSSCI clearances, and then CAC access. So that affords us the flexibility to either do remote support in sensitive area support or just within federal organization support. When I talk about being a mission-driven company, what I really like to hit on, because I come out of the intelligence community 17 years as an analyst, and I like platforms that were flexible and adaptable to my mission set. So we are cloud agnostic, so whatever cloud that you provide, we have native integrations within those. But not only that, we know that there's sensitive data and challenges to always having data in the cloud. So we have the flexibility of being an on-prem cloud solution, a hybrid format, or a multi-cloud area. And then finally, I like to hit on when we say mission-driven is because we like to enable our users and do the knowledge transfer so that we can support our government customers to be able to get smart on how to utilize our software. So then we can just do the back-end support of it so that you're not dependent on us to be able to have the successful data access and platform capability. So our whole mission set is that we provide the services and our commercial side the ability to access the right data at the right time in a fast and compliant and secure way. All this is going to show you is while we do have customers within the DoD, is that it doesn't matter what the data is, whether it's logistical data, it is finance data, or it's intelligence data, or it's personnel data. We just care about that we do it in a secured access, and that we've really grown to some of the larger names on the commercial side. Pfizer is one that we had supported them with over 96 million attributes that we are applying to our data access platform. And then also JP Morgan's another one that's very huge, and that's real-time troves and troves of data that we're going and providing secured access and data enforcement. So this is going to be a footprint of where we are at within the federal space. Again, we just say that we protect the data regardless of the type or where it's stored at. Our current customers, we just joined DHA over at the JOMIS program, and we're deployed on NIPR, and then we'll be their SIPR solution to provide a secured and compliant data access and policy enforcement on the SIPR level. And then we're also at Air Force, we're supporting them on their shared service cloud platform cross-domain solution called Vault, and there we're on Nipper. They have over 70 tenants, and we're providing that secure data access. And then we'll be moving out to SIPR within the next 6 months. Additionally, we're at DHS. We do have an ATO there. I hit on the ATO because we don't have to be FedRAMP because we don't consume your data, we don't alter your data, we don't ingest your data. Your data stays where it's stored. So we have 3 ATOs. 2 are on JWICs, and 1 is on Nipper. And then we are at the Army G2. And also this last fall, we just joined SOCOM GAP, and we're supporting them on Nipper on JWICs. And then this week or next week, we should be joining our first Navy logo with MSC and their data environment. Moving on, so I come out of the intelligence community, and I really think, what we're trying to do, whether that's do backend analysis for any business solutions, be that finance or your personnel data, or your military record, or for your health record, to try to be able to set.
No.
All right. I think Tiffany was having technical difficulties, maybe with the internet. So let's give her a minute to get back on stage. Stand by.
Hey, Leslie, I think this is
Yeah.
Chris Brown, actually. So the link I have from Tiffany, I think was her. And then I tried to register and I couldn't find this event because it was supposed to be me, Tiffany, and one other person from Immuta joining in on this. I think she's the
Okay.
only one with a connection.
Okay.
So I might be blocking her. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we only had one person from
Who's
your company
registered?
registered. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I didn't know that there was a registration or anything like that. And I'm trying to connect with her, but not sure kind of what to do here. Sorry.
well, I can give you speaker capabilities if you'd like to keep going.
Sure, I can go to the presentation, and I'm just the one who's going to be doing a demo anyway.
Sure. So give me what is your name again?
I'm Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. Okay. Oh, and Tiffany's getting back on.
Oh no, someone said there was another presenter. Am I still good? Sorry.
You're on. You're on.
Oh man. All right, let me pull that back up. I'm not quite sure what happened. So I'll walk down through this. I apologize. How much more time do I have? I'm at 7. Okay.
Yes, you have until 2:15.
Okay, perfect. So disparate data, and then you have rule complexity, whether that's MOU, MOA, or data access agreements, or just having the right people access the right time, whether it's SIPR and a junior individual is trying to access sensitive data, or a financial analyst that shouldn't see all of your palm cycles, but should only see the individual data. And so what you see is like a user complexity and a role explosion. And you'll see when the next slide, what we're talking about is right now you have data sources stored wherever they are, and then you have individuals that are using that. And previously that's been pretty manageable with coding and updating throughout your entire data architecture. But what happens is the more data you get, the more users you get. So right now this is going to be the least amount of data. And what we find is that you're going to have a role explosion that's going to be constantly needing to update throughout your entire process. And so we say it doesn't go linearly, that your role explosion and these user policies and their access approvals, that's going to go in an infinite way. So when you take one of those squares, this is one of our real life customer use cases, is that between all the different areas that you have to enforce for an individual to do this role-based access, which is the legacy way that we have been doing it, one of our customers went to over 5,000 policies that individuals within their data engineering teams were having to update and code constantly on a daily basis to maintain to have the rigorous security. So we know that with this offline static role-based process of getting users to be able to access the data, that we're seeing it slowing down the entire process. And the fact that we're wanting to move at the speed we are, the old legacy ways of doing it with role-based are not going to be able to work. So the greatest question that we answer is, how do you enable easy access to data at the right users at the right time that's secure, accurate, and safe? And then the fact that you have the scalability, because those role-based, as you can see with the role explosions, that does not scale just because of the manual thing. So what we are is we're a centralized data access layer that we lay at your data wherever it's stored and compute. And so we give you ability to scale because we plug into your data architecture, because we are an open architecture API first capability. And once we go ahead and plug in, then we create a policy that's done in natural language processing or plain English. And so you can create and write one policy that doesn't require any technical manpower. So your data stewards or your compliance officers can write them once, and then it forces it across in an automated fashion across your entire platform. So you don't have that risk of it exposing data spillage and then classification slip, because it's doing it all in real time. And then because we can do this all in real time in a consistent, reliable manner, we provide that secure ability of your data protection at the data layer, because we have 100% policy enforcement. And then we're able to record every who's accessing what data and when. So really, because of that automated data access, it allows that secure data at speed. So when we say we live at the data layer, it's because we're marrying up the metadata. So it's attribute-based access control, saying that we're going to take your whatever your user data is, whether it's an ICAM or a Keycloak or Active Directory or your LDAP, and you take the attributes of those, you take the attributes of the data, and then you can continue to layer on very rigorous layers of attributes, whether that's geographically. So only the ones that are focusing on this area should get that access to it. And so when we take all that metadata, what we're able to do is separate having to do policies when each one of these platforms, whether that's your storage and compute. And then sometimes people get the confliction that we're a data catalog. We're not. What we're doing is we're taking your list of all the data, which is your data catalog, and then we're enforcing who should be accessing what and when. And so we kind of touch within all the users of your data ecosystem. So from your data stewards and your data managers, they're going to be able to write these policies in plain English language, requiring no technical debt. We enable them to be distributed data stewardships, because you can do a local policy out to a global policy. We also have the capability to provide enforceable digital policy for all your MOU, MOAs. Some of the things I like to hit on is, like, we have data that's only supposed to be within your area for a certain amount of time, and then we can layer on some of those requirements. Everything's done in real time, and we also have privacy enhancing techniques that provide anonymization, randomization, and masking for things like PII, PHI, or HIPAA compliance, or any other sensitive things. We also provide table level, row level, column level, cell level, fine-grained data access enforcement securities. And then the nice thing is that the data users, if at the very edge, they're going to be transparent to to Immuta being there. But then if you have your data analytics teams, they'll be able to continue to work in, whether that's their Tableau or their Databricks or their Trinos, they'll be able to continue to work in those, and we won't interrupt because we have native integration. So we plug into your systems. We also have purpose-based, attribute-based, and role-based access. And then we are enforcing those policies at the time of query. And we're really seeing that we simplify those data pipelines. We are fully containerized as well. And so it allows us to go and be deployed wherever your data lays. And so the other thing that we like to say is that it gives sound in mind between your actual data owners to be able to have that comfort to share the data, because we are 100% enforcing that policy and then getting a record of it. And then again, we don't do vendor lock-in. We don't proprietize the data. We don't alter the data. We don't add an article to your data, even if we are doing masking. So your data is your data and stays that way. We are just enforcing who is accessing what. So finally, I'll give you a data architecture and where we live at within it. So we are going to live at the data layer. And so you'll see on, these are just some of the key logos that we have. We have a full scale. This is just a piece of the integrations. And so we will lay at the storage compute, and we have native integrations with things such as Amazon Redshift, Amazon Athena. We also have Azure, and then S3, Delta Lake. So we have a variety of things that we've done in native integration, and we've worked with them. And then moving on, just to have, I can tell you everyone like a magic beans for our capability. But I do like to highlight what our customers have done. So unfortunately, because our DoD customers are sensitive to some of their information, we have to rely kind of heavily on our commercial side. So when we talk about scale, right, like Tiffany, can you guys really do what you say you can do? And that is an absolute yes, because of our automated fashion and our sensitive data discovery for things such as PII, PHI, and HIPAA. What we've proven now is Pfizer is one of our largest scale customers, and they had at that time, this is 6 months ago, over 180 users with 10,000 groups that we were having to apply 96 million attributes from their identity access or their LDAP, and they were applying it across 54,000 data sources that were applied globally. And so what you're seeing on the right-hand side is that across all of those cloud technologies, that's where we provide a streamlined, consistent enforcement for the ability to not have a lack in the risk. So another one that we like to hit on is going to be EY. I'm come from the military, I didn't even know who that was. But really the important thing is that they had to keep over 10,000 of their data sets siloed because they have their accounting clients within those regions. And so because of the data stays where they're at, and we sat across all those siloed data, that they were able to automatically enforce in real time these data access and privacy enforcements across those data sets, and they were able to scale it up globally for over 250 of their customers. And then we talk about attribute-based access and being that fine grain, really what it allows, if there's anyone that's looking at doing AI ML, is because you can do dynamic and data discovery in such a rapid speed of it, and because you have that distributed data stewardship and that role-based kind of access, that they were able to start enabling AI models, which typically took about 1 month down to 1 day. And then finally, I'll just end on this one, is because while we do scalability and very agile on our platform, because we are open architecture, because we continue to modernize our system with our API first capability so that we can plug into whatever your technology is. While we give all that modernization ability, we're also decreasing your risk. So I have people ask me, who is our biggest customer out there or our competition? Our two competitions are going to be end-to-end solution, because we really are just a piece of your data architecture. But the other thing is going to be role-based access, which is the legacy way of doing things. So when we had a test environment within a GigaOM and independent study, what they found is that, again, as your data continues to stream and increase, they end up having, they tested out the role explosion, that what took 603 policies that people are in there coding it within everywhere that the data laid within their storage and compute. It only took eight policy enforcemements for Immuta to do the same thing. So then that's really reducing the burden on your technical manpower staff. But it was like 75% across hundreds of tables, enforcing 96 policies. So we really just increase the efficiency with your time to data is the other thing. So the time to data that we saw, the new Center for Data, they were doing medical data, and they were needing to have rigorous HIPAA compliance. They also did election data, which was PII information. What we've seen is that they went from 90 days getting that process for researchers to request that access, find out where the data was, go and show their compliance to be able to access the data, and continue to do this lag process for something that should have been automated, because we do have sensitive data discovery requests that you can do within our platform. They went from 90 days to 3 days. And so really streamline their research ability, their access to the data. So that is, I think I'm in with under a minute. So I'm Tiffany Bay. Our whole team is mission focused. We come out of it, and I'll just leave you with the fact that we're a secured, scalable, centralized policy enforcement and privacy enhancing software technology that's open architecture, API first, enabling distributed data stewardship and modernization within your data platform.
All right. Thank you so much, Tiffany. We appreciate it. And that was Immuta. And just coming in right at 2:15. Thank you so much. We'll be ending this session and folks can move over to the next one. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.